Hey, how's it going, everybody? BurntBrian here, and welcome back to another Whatever Wednesdays. In this video series, I like to give channel updates, talk about what's going on in my life, answer random questions, and talk about topics submitted by you, the fine viewers. If you're not already following me on Facebook, please head over there and give me a follow. Really trying to build the BurntBrian community over there, and I am trying to post a little bit more regularly than I used to. I'm trying to get back into being more consistent with all that, just like I am with my long-form videos here on YouTube. If you don't know much about this series, it's kind of a replacement of what used to be an old Talk Can Tuesday. It's my long-form videos just to be able to vlog, really try to interact with, all of you good people out there who actually share similar interests with me and enjoy watching these videos. Just try to kind of give a few updates, and usually it's all done while drinking a good adult beverage. So today we're going to be looking at the Atomic Torpedo Imperial IPA, 9.2%. This one's from Sierra Nevada. I've always loved Sierra Nevada. When I would go out to bars before the big craft beer craze and the big boom, I was always a craft beer fan, so most places didn't have anything, but they almost always had Sierra Nevada, whether it was their regular or their torpedo. This is my first time having the Imperial IPA version of that at 9.2%, so I'm curious to see how it is. I already popped the top. I tried to go outside and film this there, but it's 110 degrees today with the heat index in Florida, and this little crappy GoPro said no and shut off on me. It overheated. Apparently, GoPros seem to really suck unless you're in cool conditions or you're actually doing action sports where the camera is moving, and hopefully the movement will help keep the camera cool. But if you're just standing trying to film in the sun and direct heat, that's not going to work. So anyway, how does this one taste? This one's for all of you folks out there. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's good. Super hoppy. I mean, that's what you expect when you have a an Imperial IPA like this at 9.2%. Definitely super hoppy at 19.2, so almost 20-ounce can. I was really disappointed when I went to both 3 or 4 different stores today, actually, and every time I go to a store, I'm looking for malt liquor. And I know that's cheap. It's cheaper beer, but I've always had a love for craft beer and malt liquor and the malt liquor drinking community, the MLDC here on YouTube. That goes way back. Most people nowadays really don't even know anything about the malt liquor drinking community unless they were a part of that whole thing. There was often disputes between craft beer drinkers and malt liquor drinkers. But I going back to even when I was in high school, and we had some older folks that we knew, friends that would go and get us different beers from the store. I mean, to me, I always go back to one memory when we were picked up from high school, and we had this guy that was over 21, came pulling into the parking lot with 4 JBL 12 speakers in the back of his Bronco. And he had brought an Old English 800, that that OE 8-ball. And he passed some cups in the back, and, we were sitting there filling up drinks as we were in the line waiting to pull out of the parking lot. And I've always loved that particular one. Of course, I'm a big fan of Schlitz as well. The only thing I can find around here now is Cobra. I can't even find Hurricane, and those were 2 of the cheapest, most, I guess, well-known, cheaper quality ones. I just always looked at it as, a lot of the homeless folks would come in when I worked at the gas station at 19 years old, 20 years old, and they would come in and buy a whole crap ton of the Cobra and the Hurricane. Not so much the other malt liquors. Mickey's is another one that goes back way back. I just can't find any of that stuff anymore. Craft beer is dominated, and at least in my area here, and I don't know, maybe I need to go to one of the ghetto stores nearby, and maybe I'll have better luck finding some good malt liquor there. But anyway, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Again, if there's anything you would like to hear discussed in next week's video, next week's Whatever Wednesday, throw a comment down below. Let me know. It doesn't matter what the topic is. Doesn't matter what the question is. I'll do my best to answer. There are some things, of course, for my career safety purposes, I'm not going to discuss on these kinds of videos. But, within reason, I'm open to just about anything. So throw some comments down below, and I'll make sure to get to them. One thing I want to talk about is I just recently did my first time promoting a video here on YouTube, and I was really surprised by the results. I mean, I've been sitting stagnant at 1,790 subscribers for years. I mean, I did step away. I started YouTube 15 years ago, and then I stepped away for probably 4 or 5 years to try to get my life back in order. I was working on, building my career. I bought this awesome house. kind of just focused on my life. And then I decided, I had a lot of free time again, and I was looking for a fun hobby to get back into. So I got back into making my videos. I have a pretty strict schedule now where almost every day of the week I'm doing, Munchie Mondays. I've switched it up. No more Techie Tuesdays. We're doing Sizzling Tuesdays, where I plan to try to do more cooking videos, and I plan to incorporate in those cooking videos some hot sauce and maybe a craft beer or something to pair that meal with. And I just really have to work on my style. I've got to, research and look at how other content creators are making their videos as far as recipes go, and see if there's something that I can do to tweak and make it my own, make it somewhat unique. And I think maybe having the hot sauce and beer would be kind of a unique step away from most of the traditional recipe people out there. But there's a lot of stuff I had to learn. I put out this last video on Tuesday, and it was okay. I had fun making it. Food came out great, but I could see a lot of areas where I need to improve on it. But anyway, the point was that the promotion that I did, I paid $60. I ended up getting over 1,600 subscribers, which was awesome. Of course, through that, though, there is a lot of things you have to understand when you do a promote like that, and that it's pushing it out to a ton of people. And YouTube makes it easy with like a little easy subscribe button. So people will subscribe to you and you get tons of subscribers. But a lot of times I think most people find that they're empty subscribers. It doesn't really amount to actual view time, watch time, and hours, minutes, and then interactivity. So, I've only posted a couple videos since last Tuesday. I have seen a little bit of increased viewership and a few more comments and maybe a little bit longer duration on the view times, but it's about what I've been seeing. So it's nice to see the additional subscribers. I'm hoping through continuous videos like this and constantly sticking with my schedule, then maybe I'll draw in more viewership and more time. Of course, I am always open to constructive criticism. If there's things that you think could be better, let me know. I want to make this a fun, interactive experience for everybody. Anybody who wants to join in. I'm really trying to work on my game room. I've been updating a lot of stuff. For 2 years, I've been told that I'm going to get a couple pinball machines, and I'm really, really hopeful that we're getting close to that point where, I might finally actually get them. And I think it would be so cool to show and to have back here a couple real pinball machines next to my virtual pin cab that has hundreds of tables on it. This TV behind me that's just playing background video it's got a whole setup for retro arcade, everything going back to the old Ataris and the classic arcade games I think it's up to the PlayStation 3 kind of, game content. And then, of course, I've got Guitar Hero set up, Clone Hero, whole shooter set up for Time Crisis with the pedal and everything. Got a computer over there, an Xbox Series X that I just picked up for when Grand Theft Auto comes out. But there's also some other fun stuff coming, like Soundstage, supposed to be an awesome game with, they're bringing back the plastic instruments. So the plastic drums, guitar, microphone, bass. And I just remember that always being so much fun. Me and all my friends would get together and we would jam out and just get a big old bottle, a handle of Captain Morgan spiced rum and some Dr. Pepper. And it would be a Friday night with us just jamming out, people rotating, one person singing and switching over to guitar and switching over to drums. And it was just an awesome experience. And I miss that. I'm hoping I can relive that again, get some of my friends around that still live around the area here, and maybe join in on some fun stuff. I did buy a couple other fun games. I got something called F Life. I don't know if you ever heard of it. F-Life. It's supposed to mean like fuck life. But it's a twisted version of the old classic board game Life, but the card version is way sicker. I'm not going to talk about it much because I do plan to do some videos. You can look on TikTok if you want and find some really hilarious videos of people playing the game, the characters that you can be. You can catch an STD playing the game. You could get killed by a crackhead. There are so many things that could happen to you. It looks like total fun, so I can't wait for us to get that and play around with it. But yeah, otherwise I've really been focusing on this channel. I know, as well as my Facebook page. I know a lot of people nowadays are doing, just filming on their phone, but I hope that it's recognized that I try to do more than just pull out my phone. I've got cameras that I bought that are special 4K cameras. I've got lighting setups, monitors, editing software. I do really try to make entertaining content. And it is frustrating, when people just put a phone down and get way more views, but that's also where we're at nowadays too. There's not so much of the long form videos. Most of what you see on YouTube, or, most people are watching shorts or reels. They just want to sit on their phone and scroll and scroll and scroll. And that's cool. I do it sometimes too, but we don't watch cable TV here. I don't have cable TV. I've got an 85-inch TV with a Fire Stick plugged in. We might watch some Prime videos or some Netflix. But for the most part, we watch YouTube videos, dash cams, body cam footage, crime scene investigations, just whatever we feel like. There's all kinds of great stuff. And then also all the other content creators that I try to support out there, the other fellow creators. I do try to watch all of those videos to the people that I'm subscribed to. It's just, but it's convenient anyway, for me, because I just watch it there. Most people, again, are just on their phone, so they're just flip. But anyway, I was super happy to see the outcome of the promotion, to see all the views that I got, to see all of the subscriptions. So now I just got to keep that ball rolling. I got to stay motivated, keep trying to put out some content. Anyway, let me take another swig out of this because I'm hearing my voice getting a little hoarse now. I really don't know what to do with a lot of these videos. I used to do some live streams. I tried to do one recently, really didn't get any interaction there. So I've got to wait a little while, see if I can rebuild the little bit of an audience that I used to have a long time ago, before I do another live stream. But I may start doing some other things on whatever Wednesdays instead of just having drinks and chilling out. I'll probably start taking my e-bike out, show you some of the trails if the camera doesn't overheat like it normally does. But I can get that e-bike up to 30 miles per hour. That should be enough to keep this thing at a cool operating temperature. Anyway, I guess I don't have like a whole lot else to talk about. I just wanted to give a quick channel update, what's going on there. Reach out to you guys once again, because I ask in every video, there's a topic you want to hear discussed, questions, please throw them down below in the comments so that I know what to do with this video series. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these unless I can kind of start getting some more engagement on this. So please, if you like the video, be sure and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss on any future content. Head over to BurntBrian.com if you would. Join my Burn newsletter. I'm trying to make some changes there. I realized that my website wasn't getting a ton of views because it's basically just a landing page where I divert people over to my YouTube videos, and Google doesn't want to list that and put that out for other people. So I'm going to try to make some more exclusive content that you'll only be able to find on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, not my YouTube, my website. So they won't be publicly available anywhere else except for the website. And maybe that'll help draw in some more viewers and some longtime visitors over on the website. Anyway, I'm going to finish this, go enjoy the rest of my day. It's 5:30, so I got to start thinking about what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. As always, stay toasty, my friends. We'll see you in the next video.